Hi there. I wanted to share with you about the importance of mindfulness when it comes to self-regulation. Right? Often when we're talking about our nervous system, we're talking about nervous system regulation. But really, what does that mean? It's an avenue of how we regulate or come back to relative balance within our nervous system, which is one part and facet of self-regulation. And so when we're talking about self-regulation, what does that mean? Really, this is how do we, again, maintain a relative balance um, within the unfolding of our day-to-day life. Right? Life is going to have its highs, it's going to have its lows. We're going to expand and we're going to contract. We're going to get excited and we're going to experience sadness or feel small. And that is just part of the natural expansion and contraction of what happens in our world and how we as human biological animals and beings respond to the unfolding of life experience. Now, self-regulation can happen in a few different ways. And specifically what I'm going to refer to is I'm going to refer to how mindfulness, right, the power of paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, how that has the ability to support and encourage our practice of self-regulation, being able to navigate the world. The first is attention regulation, meaning mindfulness has the ability to remind us of how do we be mindful or attend to the unfolding of present experience, right? Meaning we get to notice, where does our attention go? Right? Many of us may be familiar with the Disney Pixar movie Up, right? Doug, that classic squirrel moment, right? For me, it's often sparkly things, or I really attune to sounds and shift to music or energetics, right? So it's where are we attending or where are we drawing our attention to? And then how do we regulate it? How do we notice that there's a distraction? Oh, that's a distraction. And then come back to whatever the task at hand was. Then we also have emotion regulation. It's a similar practice, but we're navigating it with our emotions. When we experience spikes of anxiety or we feel the pull of sadness and grief wanting to kind of take us away, right? How do we begin to ride the waves of our emotional experience without getting kind of caught up in the riptide of it? Then body sensations. Right? This is where mindfulness is helpful, specifically with nervous system regulation. We get to notice what is happening and shifting within our internal environment of body sensations. Right? Does our body temperature change? Do we experience tingles? Do we notice if our body feels closed off when someone just said something? Do we notice if our heart opens when someone says something? And then lastly, we have the practice of dual awareness, which really helps us regulate our nervous system, regulate our life, engage in self-regulation. And this is when we're able to hold two seemingly paradoxical pieces of information simultaneously, right? It's this idea that we can experience the both and. I can experience grief and heartbreak, and I can experience gratitude for the love that once was there. I can experience a lot of excitement, and I can be a lot aware of perhaps some fear or anxiety that may be present. And a very fascinating thing about the nervous system with anxiety and excitement, our nervous system responds exactly the same way to anxiety or nervousness and excitement. It simply depends on the story we tell ourselves. And the story we tell ourselves can be influenced by our practice of mindfulness. Tell me, what about these different self-regulation practices and the influence of mindfulness influence you most? Feel free to reach out or send a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care for now.